Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be getting into Tina's secret recipe cards and making some of her famous chunky salsa. So if you guys will hang tight, we'll get to it and show you how we do it. Alright guys, like I said, today we're going to get into Tina's recipe cards and make some of her chunky salsa. Now we really enjoy it here on the homestead. It's not a smooth restaurant style salsa like you'll see on some other videos, but it's a chunky style that we like putting on top of a lot of different Mexican dishes, and having a little bit of spice and a little bit of kick never hurts much. You can put it on about anything. So instead of sitting here gabbing, let's just get right to the footage and I'll show you how we make our salsa here on the homestead. Okay guys, we're in here at the prep table, and if you haven't guessed by the ingredients, let's see, today is salsa making day. So we make a chunky style salsa. It's not a smooth restaurant style salsa. We may do that in another video, but today we're going to be making our chunky salsa, and we'll show you how you do it if you just hang on 1 second. Okay guys, this recipe is going to start by calling for 10 cups of chopped, peeled, and cored tomatoes. So before this gets confusing, we are going to triple that recipe. So right now we're working on getting 30 cups of peeled tomatoes. So for right now, let's see, we'll walk you back through the process. The tomatoes will get split and boiled. They cut an X in the bottom of it, but we've showed that in our other videos. But from there, they'll go into this pan to cool. And from there, they'll come out here on the tray. And you guys can probably see some of the X's that were cut in the bottom of the tomatoes before they were boiled. That blows the skin right off of them. But then we'll come over here where Tina is, she'll take the skins off of them. And then she'll use her fingers, the tips of her fingers, to rake most of the seeds and the body out of them. And I'll see if I can't catch that on video here in a minute. But she'll take the skins off of them, and then she'll chop them into quarters and take her fingers and rake the guts out of them. And pretty much what you're left with is just the meat of the tomato. But she skins them and then quarters them, and then she'll go ahead and take the cores out of them. That's what she's doing there. Just taking the cores out of them. But once the cores are out of them, like I said, she'll take her fingers and rake the meat out of them. That'll take it down to the base of the tomato, just the meat of the tomato. And then she'll dice them up. But there you go, raking the middles out of them. But from there, they'll get diced up, and I'm going to swing around behind her. We'll come over here. And they'll go into this measuring cup, and we got some extra ice here for cooling down the tomatoes sitting in the sink. But they'll go into this measuring cup once they're diced up, and that's how we'll get to our 30 tomatoes, 30 cups of tomatoes. So we'll come back and show you a little bit more here in a minute. Okay guys, just going to bring you back in here real quick. Tina's still working on chopping up the tomatoes. I think we're about a third of the way there. And we'll zoom you over here, and we're about halfway through cutting up. We need 15 cups of onions. So remember the recipe, we're tripled the recipe, so for the recipe you need 5 cups, but for our purposes we need 15. So and Tina's cutting up 30 cups of tomatoes, but the recipe calls for 10. So I may get to repeating myself, but I'll try to keep this straight as we go along in the recipe. But the recipe itself so far is 10 cups of chopped, cored, and diced up tomatoes and 5 cups of onions. Alright guys, just bringing you back here real quick. Tina is still working on the 30 cups of tomatoes we need. That's probably the longest process of the salsa. So, and I'll spin you around here. We got over here at the prep table, we got 15 cups of onions chopped. Now that's 5 cups for the recipe that's tripled. So we got 15 cups. And now we're going to start working on these jalapenos. but the recipe calls for 1 cup of jalapenos. So I've got 3 cups to chop up to triple it, but I'll kind of tell you how we do it. First of all, I'm going to wear gloves. But second of all, you split the jalapenos open, and we're going to be coring them with a spoon. That's an easy way to core them once you get them open. But then we got a measuring cup here. We'll dice them up, put them back in a bowl, and we'll get those ready to add too. But Tina's got a great big pot out there in the other room where she's adding her tomatoes, and eventually we're going to mix all this stuff together, and I'll show you that when we get to it. But for right now, time to chop the jalapenos and add some heat to the salsa. Okay guys, we're going to jump ahead just a little bit here in time, and let's talk about this recipe in some kind of sense. But I'm sorry I made such a mess out of it. But what we're going to do, I'll try and get in here close. Maybe you can snapshot that, and then you'll have a copy of the recipe yourself. But what we've got is back here on the stove behind me, we've got the 10 cups of chopped, cored, and peeled tomatoes. We got the 5 cups of chopped green peppers, 5 cups of chopped onions, 1 cup of chopped jalapenos, 1 1/4 cups apple cider vinegar, 3 cloves of finely chopped garlic, 2 tablespoons of chopped cilantro, and 1 tablespoon of salt. Now, if you're seeing this and you say, Mark, you got way more than a cup full of jalapenos, or you got way more than, let's see, 5 cups of onions, it's because we've tripled the recipe, basically tripled it. So and actually what you guys can do when you make the recipe like this is suit it more to your taste. We've actually cut back a little bit on the green peppers. That's not our favorite thing in salsa, though we have plenty of green peppers. But we're not the biggest fans of green peppers, so we cut them back some. We like a lot of onions in our salsa, and we also like a little heat, so we got some extra jalapenos in there too. So this is the basic recipe: 10 cups of chopped tomatoes, 5 cups of green peppers, 5 cups of onions, 1 cup of chopped seeded jalapenos, 1 1/4 cup cider vinegar, 3 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of finely chopped cilantro, and 1 tablespoon of salt. But you guys can do what you want with the recipe, but we'll be back to show you. We're gonna get this combined up in a big pot, and we'll show you what we're doing with it next. Alright guys, we're going to jump in here. We got everything in the pot, and we're just giving it a quick mix. Just wanted to give you guys a chance to see how delicious that looks. And we ain't making no small batch of salsa. This is a full water bath canner full, and there are jar after jar of salsa in there. So we'll get this all mixed up, and then we'll bring you back. But I wanted you to have a chance to see that up close and just how good that really looks. Alright guys, we're getting ready to start canning on the salsa. But let me tell you what you do. You combined all of your ingredients in a pot. Now we had them in the water bath canner, but we split them into 2 pots. We got another pot over on the other table. But this is half of the salsa, and we go ahead and bring it up to a boil. And then what you do is you turn it down and keep it at a low boil for about 10 minutes. And then you should be ready to start canning. And Tina's all set up to get going on that, and I'll bring you back when we start doing that. But they'll go in the water bath canner for how long, T?
15 minutes.
15 minutes. Alright, so we'll get them, let this boil for about 10 minutes. We'll start canning them up, and then we'll run them through the water bath canner for 15 minutes, and then we'll show you what they look like. Okay guys, we're getting started getting this salsa canned up. So I just thought I'd give you a quick look. It's the same basic canning process as anything else. How much headspace you leaving? About a 1/2 inch? Okay. So leave about 1/2 inch headspace, and then put your lids and your rings on, and then we'll get them in the water bath canner over here, and we'll bring that up to a full boil, and then we'll leave them for 15 minutes, and then they should be ready to go. Okay. We'll just sneak in here over. It's a good thing Tina's short. We can sneak right over her shoulder. There's some good looking salsa. We'll we'll take a good close look at it once it comes out of the canner, and we'll see if you can get an idea if it looks like something you'd like to try the recipe to. Okay guys, we've let these process in here for 15 minutes. Then we took the lid off and we set a timer for 5 minutes so they could rest just a little bit and cool down a little. And Tina's going to start grabbing them out of there and setting them over on the towel. And we'll just follow her through and we'll take a look at what they look like. Get down here. Sorry, the lighting's terrible over here. But yeah, you can see the little pieces of garlic floating in them. Oop, they're popping already. But we'll see if we can, we'll get a little closer to done. We'll line them all up and get them in some better light and see if we can't get you a better picture of them. Alright guys, we got this salsa all finished up. I wanted to bring you in and give you a look at it. It's some pretty good looking stuff. But we got her all finished up. We got pull back out here, we got 28 pints. But we got to get these rings off of them and we'll get them labeled and get them put away. But I thought you'd want to get in here and get a good look at them. Let's see if I can't get one here now. We'll mix them up here and show you a little bit. Probably not the best view, but we'll pull back out here and that's what we ended up with, guys. It's some really good salsa. We really enjoy it, and it's nice and chunky. Now we may make some of the blended restaurant style salsa, and it's a little bit different. It's got some cumin and stuff in it, but this here's our chunky salsa, and we can use it for a good base for like chicken cacciatore or some other things that we cook with a little more Mexican style. But for the most part, it's just a good chunky salsa that we like on chips. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. That's how we do it here on the homestead. That's quite a bit of salsa and we're glad to have it. It'll do us right all through the winter and probably last into next year. But that's a 28 pints, and I hope you enjoyed the little trick of stuffing 10 pints into a 9-pint water bath canner. But we're glad to have you guys here at the channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that thumbs up button. That really helps. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, or just tell us what you thought of the salsa, or tell us about your salsa. How do you make it different? What do you put in it? And we're always willing to have a new salsa recipe. That never hurts. So if you guys got something that you do different with your salsa, or there's something you'd like to see us do different with ours, then let us know. You know, we're always willing to improve, even in our salsa recipe. So, and if you guys like the content here on the channel, then I hope you guys will go ahead and subscribe. There's a subscribe button down below, and then down next to it, there's a bell. And if you ring that bell will tell you whenever we release new videos. It'll send you a notification or an email, and it'll help you keep up with the channel. So when you guys leave those thumbs up and comments, it really helps the channel out. It tells YouTube to show our videos to more people, and then we can reach out and touch more people, and they you know, they come here to the channel and hang out with you guys and compare notes, and the channel just gets all the stronger for it. So if you would, please again hit that thumbs up, leave us a comment down below. If you like the channel, go on and subscribe, and that little bell down there will get you some notifications. But once again, we enjoyed having you guys here at the homestead. We hope you enjoyed the recipe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.